like and subscribe right now, or you're going to have bad luck for the rest of the week.
Everyone is rare in one way or another, but some people are the epitome of unusual. These people are so rare that you might think they are from a class X-Men in real life. You might not see them in real life, but with the help of the internet, you can definitely know about them. From the mermaid girl to the fish boy, today we are looking at 10 more rare humans that are 1 in a million. Or sometimes in a billion. Let's begin. Number 10. Person with the smallest face. Discrimination on the basis of one's appearance is unfortunately a common practice all over the world. But how do you escape them? 21-year-old Zanziman Ellie chooses to hike nearly 32 kilometers every day. Born in Rwanda, East Africa, Zanziman has microcephaly, a rare condition where a baby is born with a much smaller head than what's perceived as normal. Ellie's disorder has made him an outcast in his village, earning him the nickname real-life Mowgli. Shunned for looking different, Ellie spends his time away from the community in the jungle. On most days, his meals simply consist on eating grass. Due to his condition, the 21-year-old cannot speak and has difficulty hearing. As a result, he has never been to school or received any formal education. According to reports, his mother lost 5 of her children before Ellie was born. She revealed how Ellie is often bullied and even chased around by locals for having an unusual face. Number 9. Woman with the most unusual face structure. Lady Ardilla was a generally healthy baby at birth, but she had a heart murmur. After performing a successful surgery in her home country of Colombia, the doctors needed to treat the baby girl with a heavy dose of powerful steroids. By the age of 3, Lidi's pituitary glands had been so damaged by the steroids that she developed a rare bone disorder called fibrosis dysplasia. Because of this condition, scar-like tissue developed in place of normal bones. Doctors told Lidi's parents that she would not be able to walk and that she would likely die before her 12th birthday. But as you can see, Ardilla, now 29 years old, has proved all of her doctors wrong. The most visible side effect, and what impacts her most, is Lidi's facial deformity. She told in an interview that when other people are around, it's obvious that people are looking at her, especially when she sees their surprised stares. Rather than allow the stares and comments to control her, Lidi embarked on a journey of self-confidence and self-acceptance. Number 8. Boy with no jaw. Isaiah Acosta was born with situs inversus, which meant all his major organs were in the wrong place, and he hadn't developed a jawbone. His mother, Tara Acosta, was told his life expectancy would be limited, and he'd be bedbound. Despite doctors' predictions, Isaiah survived and is able to walk. He uses medical machinery to get food and oxygen, and is unable to speak, but he's gone on to fulfill his dream of becoming a rapper, with the help of the Children's Miracle Network hospitals and musician Trap House. He is the first rapper who cannot speak. Acosta breathes through a tracheal tube in his throat, which he has to clean at least 3 times a day and replace every week. He has never tasted food and instead eats 6 times a day through a feeding tube on his stomach. When he was 17, Isaiah Acosta's first song went viral. His rap, with its inspirational lyrics about his painful past and ambitious future, drew international attention in early 2017. Within a month, the Glendale teen was a panelist at the South by Southwest Music Festival in Austin, Texas. And on his 18th birthday, he opened for one of the most famous independent rappers in the world, Tech 9. Number 7. Man with the biggest breasts. Can men develop breasts? Yes, some of them can. It's called gynecomastia. The condition can be found among babies because of the female hormones from their moms, adolescent adults, and even the elderly. Don't believe us? Here's proof. The guy with the biggest man breasts in the world, the 53-year-old, was fed up with his chest and wanted a male breast reduction. He stated that his condition started 10 years ago after gaining weight, but considering it at the time to be natural. The size of his chest, however, was unnaturally big. Feng's doctors didn't want to perform any procedures on him until they knew exactly why his chest had been swelling up. Tests had only shown that his boobs weren't cancerous and were comprised of fatty tissue. Feng gained so much attention and ridicule for his weighty condition that he said that he would cut the breasts off himself if the doctors wouldn't perform the male breast reduction. Fortunately, he didn't have to do that because doctors did perform the surgery perfectly, and Mr. Feng was able to return to his old life, and also reunited with his wife after she had left because of his breasts. We don't blame her, that's too many breasts in the relationship. Number 6. Queen of Dark. In an age where people are going after skin brightening and whitening creams, this South Sudanese model is embracing her dark complexion with pride. Her moonshine dark skin has earned her the nickname Queen of Dark, and she just goes to prove that beauty comes in all shades. Gatwitch is not only an advocate for diversity in the fashion industry, but also a voice for black rights around the world. 28-year-old Nakeem Gatwitch is as strong as she is beautiful. The model, who now lives in Minneapolis, is on a journey to promote skin positivity and self-acceptance. Along with her gorgeous photos, which she shares with her 900,000 plus followers on Instagram, she also sends out inspirational messages, especially to women who are struggling with being comfortable in their own skin. Number 5. Blind Man Who Can See. This will show you how you can turn a tragedy to your advantage. Ben Underwood was just 3 years old when he was diagnosed with retinal cancer. To prevent cancer from spreading to the rest of his body, both of his eyes were removed and replaced with prosthetics. As expected, this made him completely blind. Ben grew up in California with his family and lived an almost completely normal life. He had taught himself to use echolocation by creating a sharp clicking sound with his tongue. The sound echoed off nearby objects. Due to his trained ears and his insane ability to accurately determine where things are around him, he successfully lived a blind life with no guide dog and no cane. Even more incredible, he could play basketball, skateboard, and even ride a bike home from school. Unfortunately, Ben died in 2009 from the same type of cancer that had taken his eyesight. When the cancer came back, it spread to his spinal cord and brain. Ben was just 16 years old when he passed away. Number 4. Indian God. Deepak Paswan, a 7-year-old boy, was born with a parasitic twin conjoined to his abdomen, giving him 4 legs and 4 arms, but 1 head. Hindu pilgrims visited his home in the northern state of Bihar to worship him as an incarnation of the god Vishnu, often depicted with numerous limbs. Deepak's family, uncomfortable with this attention, appealed in March for help to pay for an operation that would have the extra limbs removed, and a hospital in the southern city of Bangalore offered to do the procedure for free. Deepak's story mirrors that of Lakshmi Tatma, a girl from Bihar who was also born with 4 arms and 4 legs. She was successfully operated on in 2007 and is now thriving. The Fortis Hospital of Bangalore said that its team of 15 doctors worked on Deepak's case and after months of consultations went ahead with the complicated surgery. After a long surgery, he got 100% fit and is now living a proper healthy life. Number 3. Mermaid Girl. Despite the countless rumors, humans have never really seen mermaids, so they don't know if any of them really exist. Well, except for one who lived on land. Shiloh Pepin, a little girl with a big story to tell, will have your heart melting. Shiloh was born with a rare condition called cyrenomylia, or mermaid syndrome. The condition is 2 legs that are stuck together to make one big leg. According to Shiloh, it's the way she was made when she was born. Cyrenomylia affects more than 7,000 pregnancies, and babies born with the condition almost never survive. When Shiloh was born, the doctors told her parents she wouldn't live more than 72 hours. 10 years later, Shiloh is one of only 6 people in the world living with mermaid syndrome, and the only non-famous person getting interviewed by Oprah. After living her life as happily as she could, Shiloh died at the age of 10 in 2009. Number 2. Otherworldly Beauty. The otherworldly beauty. That's what they say about this model. Tsunena has a look so unique that she has been likened to everything from the intergalactic Avatar to even an exotic cat in an attempt to describe her. Beautiful feline-like eyes, almost always accentuated by an elegant cat flick. Gorgeous pillowy lips, piercing skin, a chiseled jawline, and a neat constellation of freckles scattered across her face. Her beauty really is outerworldly. The British Asian model was street scouted, but unlike conventional models, Tsunena's height doesn't seem to be what got her on the runway at London Fashion Week. Instead, it was the unique structure of her nose. Her avatar-like features make her a photographer's dream. Sunena's Instagram images highlight her forehead as well as the broad structure of her nose, along with the constellation of beauty spots across her face. Even if you're more inclined to conventional features, there's no denying that her unconventional beauty is so interesting it's captivating. Number 1. Fish Boy. Now for our top 1. We have the most unusual kid for you. A boy was nicknamed the Chinese Fish Boy after he was born with a skin condition that left him covered from head to toe in scales. Unfortunately, it is an incredible condition that limits his quality of life due to consistent itchiness and limited mobility. He gets relief from cold water and several medical creams recommended by doctors. The scales were flat when Pan was born. Over time, they developed into thick scales which prevented him from sweating, and that stops his body from cooling down. Known as ichthyosis, this skin disease is inherited by a child when both parents pass on the same gene that causes the disorder. According to the data compiled by researchers, over 16,000 children were born with this condition each year. Unfortunately for Pan, it is currently uncurable, despite the desperate efforts of doctors who have reviewed his case. His nickname is derived from the Greek translation of itchy, which is the root word for fish. Hopefully, a cure will be found, which will enable him to live a life without pain and illness. Have you ever seen anyone with a rare feature? Let us know in the comments, and if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel.